Well, good afternoon. Happy Monday, everybody. It is Araya on Raw here. It's our Monday meetup here at Invoke Healing International. And I like to come on every week and just talk about different things on our spiritual journey. What are you guys struggling with? What questions do you have? How can I be of service to you and help you? For those of you that don't know me, I am a psychic medium, energy healer, and life coach. I do guided programs with dragon energy specifically. I'm a guide for those on the planet that are connected to the dragon realms to help wake them up to that. And for everybody else, just to help them wake up to themselves. Who are they on this planet? Why are they here? And it is my life's joy and passion to do that. So if I can help you do that even by just a live here talking about some topic that maybe makes your week better, makes a shift or a turning point for you, then I am so happy to be here doing that. And so this week I'm just inspired, I don't even know where the inspiration came from, to talk about being hard on ourselves and how we can shift that pattern. So just start taking inventory. Where are you being hard on yourself right now? Hi Jetta, nice to see you. Do you have a pattern of always sort of taking the negative spin on, gosh, I blew it again, or I did it wrong again, or why can't I ever get it right? And when you have this negative spin continually, how do you get out of it? How can you shift that dynamic and stop being so hard on yourself? So one of the things that is a really positive way to do that is start looking at the questions that you ask yourself. Start looking at the little side comments that come in throughout the day of, oh, I blew it again, or look at that, I can't even write accurately, or I can't type, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. When you find yourself in that, can you reframe it and see something good in what you're doing? That maybe your handwriting isn't great, but maybe you're a good typist, or maybe your thoughts are beautiful, and you wish you could write better. So how could you reframe? Oh, I just can't write. I want to get these thoughts out. I'm just not a good writer. Maybe you could ask yourself, what would it take for me to get these thoughts out in a better way? What would it take? How could I make that possible? What could the universe bring me to make that easier for me? Maybe there's someone who's a great writer who you can pass all of your thoughts and notes to, and they can compile it for you. Maybe that's not your strength. Can you reframe the question or the internal dialogue of, I blew it again, or why can't I just get it right? Can you look at, well, what things are you getting right? Because obviously there's some things you're doing right and you need to start focusing on those. And I had an interesting dialogue earlier with someone where it came up in conversation about the brain, and the brain actually will find answers to questions. So whatever question you ask it, it's going to go in and try and find an answer for it, right? So if you can reframe the questions that you're asking yourself, you might actually retrain it to have a different dialogue with yourself. So instead of, why can't I get this right? Wow, what am I doing right here? What are the things that I'm doing right to get me on my path to where I want to be? How can I open up more possibility in my journey for getting me towards something else? If I'm beating myself up continuously, how can I find something more positive for myself? What could I start looking at in my day that would give me that impetus to say, wow, I did that well, or I did that right? And could that change something for you? So just wanting to come up and bring it up as a subject for thought, for contemplation this week of, are you being too hard on yourself? Are you driving yourself into the ground? Are you pushing yourself on a work schedule or a taskmaster list of things that you have to get done in order to be successful, or that you believe you need to get done in order to have the wealth or abundance or client level or whatever it is that you want to come to you actually flow? Do you have this belief set of this, and this have to happen before that can come? And maybe that's not the truth. Maybe that's an internal dialogue that needs to shift, and you can say, well, how can I create the possibility of clients coming without all these lists that are overwhelming me happen? And let your brain find the answers to that. Maybe you can stop being a taskmaster and relax into the day. And I know, my habit has been to be a control freak in my past, and to be an overwhelm of, I've got to get this whole list of things done today and right now in order to have this all work out, to have what I want come to me. And the truth is so opposite of that, that when I get still and I sit and listen to my heart and I follow what my heart wants to do in that moment, then all of a sudden clients show up, or things happen, or things align, or I get invited to do a workshop, or all different possibilities start to show up when I relax a little bit and allow my heart to just call in and say, I'm ready for more. I know that I can handle more. I want to bring this out in a bigger way. And then all of a sudden things unfold, and it's like magic. It doesn't have to take hard work to get things. It doesn't have to take a lot of money to get things. It doesn't have to take a certain number of ads to get things. So whatever you're working towards in your life, look at your belief systems that are keeping you from that, of what do I believe has to be in place for me to have that? Why am I being hard on myself to get all these things done, when maybe I can just drop into my heart and listen, reframe how I'm talking to myself, and allow myself to be shown another way? Because a lot of times our ways of being, like being a control freak, or thinking that I have to work really hard for this, or I have to get this number of things done in order for this level of success to happen. A lot of those are programming from early on years. And if we can just reverse that programming, or actually just see it, quite often when our brain just sees the truth of where that programming came from, and that it's actually an relentless program that's spinning in our head that's not part of our truth, if we can bring it to the light of day and actually see it, boom, all of a sudden it can almost like dissolve and dissipate and go, whoa, out of my field. That is not a belief that I carry and hold anymore. Maybe you got it from your parents, maybe from grandparents, maybe from peers, or an adult in your life early on that kept instilling that belief system over and over and over again. So where can you look at that, and where have you been hard on yourself in not living up to someone else's belief systems? Quite often I'm hard on myself when I think others expect something of me. And it's not the truth. They have no expectation. I have a belief that they have expectations. And so I drive myself to meet all of these imagined expectations. And when I finally learn that nobody else is expecting anything of me, what am I expecting of myself? And am I being too hard on myself based on other people's expectations of me in the past? And can I drop in and just say, you know what? I'm going to be more in the flow of what my heart wants to do, and just let that be my guide. Let that be where my life leads me. And then I tend to be in more joy, more magic unfolds. My guides can reach me more easily. They can put more things in front of me that I would respond to. And I'm not on this spinning hamster wheel of to-dos or expectations to meet, or being hard on myself because I didn't get that whole list done, or I didn't get this done on every day. So I know that that's something that has hit home for me, especially in the past. I'm not living that wheel so much anymore, but I do find every now and then I hop back on it and go, whoa, wait a minute, this feels foreign. I don't like this anymore. I'm going to put it back. I don't want to be on this hamster wheel. So just want to put it out there as a topic for discussion or contemplation this week for you guys. Where are you being hard on yourself, and what false beliefs are you living with that really aren't yours to live up to? And where can you change that dynamic and change some thought, internal dialogue with yourself into a more positive, whether it's questions or statements? What are you repeating to yourself? What are you reinstilling all the time and asking your brain to figure out? Because it will bring you what you want. So if you want positive things, your brain will bring you all kinds of positive things, and so will your guides. So I would love to ask the angels about this. I've got my Archangel Tarot deck here today with me, and want to ask for everybody that's on the call, hello, and thank you for being here, and everybody who's watching the playback. This is also for you, because everybody that will be watching this is going to benefit from this specific card reading that's being held energetically for each of you. So let's just ask that. Where can I stop being hard on myself? This issue of being hard on myself, what message do you, the archangels, have for me on this today? So I'm just going to ask. And what I usually do, rather than trying to have cards fall out or anything, I just energetically feel the deck. I'm an energy worker. That's what I do. So I allow the cards to speak to me through their energy and split open to where they need to be. And I'm feeling it. I'm actually feeling two cards, so I'm going to allow both of them to speak. There's one in the front of the deck right here, and there's one very close to the back of the deck. Oh, it's that one right here. So let's see what these two cards have to say to us. And the first one is the Ten of Michael. It is, a situation has ended and you are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. And this is a picture of a ballerina taking a bow. The stage has ended. It looks like Swan Lake. There's two beautiful images of swans on either side. And it's a reset button, right? This is an opportunity that I feel like this is directly related to what we're talking about today. The situation has ended. You don't have to keep going forward being hard on yourself. You don't have to keep going forward living up to other people's expectations or false beliefs or anything else. This is your chance for a reset button. Put the curtain down on that old show. That old tape player running doesn't serve anymore. We're going to let it die off, let it go behind you. I know the energy frequency this week is all about reset, so I love that this is just tying into that. You're finally free. You can be free of those old programs if you choose to be. It's what you choose to put in your brain, into your thought patterns, and what you're willing to see and be honest about. Because it does take contemplation. It takes honest looking at what was my childhood like? What beliefs and patterns did I have instilled in me that I'm still living by? Somebody else's programming. I tell you what, it took me until over 50 years old. I'm over 50. I'll admit it, I'll live up to that. I'm 52. And it took me until that long to actually see and acknowledge some of the old programs and sets of beliefs I had, especially around money and abundance, that I got from my family, my parents specifically, other adults in my life, different situations in my life. Old programming, false beliefs do not serve you. Are you willing to bring them to the light of day and see them? Because if you are, boom, you can set the stage, draw the curtain down, take a bow, and move forward. Thank you very much. You don't serve me anymore. Goodbye, false beliefs. Goodbye, old expectations. New opportunities for happiness will now follow, putting that past behind you. And yes, it does open into a new realm of magic and flow when you allow yourself to do that, to see the truth. The second card that was pulling, and it's interesting, I don't always get two cards, but it was definitely feeling that today. The Knight of Raphael. Committed romantic relationships, being swept off your feet. Situations or topics that make your heart flutter. So this is interesting. So some of you obviously have the romantic aspect of old dynamic, let it die. Where are you being hard on yourself and living up to someone else's expectations, especially in the romantic realm? Committed romantic relationships, these are the long-term ones. These are the life partners, the spouses. Some of that can be your kids, not necessarily romantic, but those lifetime committed relationships, you're committed to your kids. Where are those being hard on yourself, those false beliefs and expectations coming in from your family dynamic, from your close committed relationships? With this one particularly, for those of you that have the romantic aspect and being swept off your feet, for me, this is speaking about this energy reset button, that when you allow yourself to actually see the truth of anybody else's expectations of you, especially in the dynamic of family, especially in the dynamic of these romantic relationships that are being brought up in this card, that when you hit that reset button for you and bring it to the light of day of the programming and the things that you're living up to because of someone else's expectation or demand or your belief of what those are, living for somebody else's pleasure or being there to accommodate, mediate yourself, cow yourself down into what they're wanting or expecting. Hey, this isn't about them. This is about you and your journey. And those long-term committed relationships, they're going to hear you when you say, you know what, I've been really hard on myself because I've been thinking that you think I'm supposed to have a meal on the table at 6 o'clock every night, or that you think I'm supposed to be cleaning the house, or maybe you're a guy listening and that you feel like your partner's expecting you to bring home all the bacon and or get all the yard work done. Whatever those patterns of relating are between you guys, and I've just pulled out some very generalized ones in those long-term dynamics, especially with spouses, that we fall into. If you guys can sit openly and look at your own first, where am I being hard on myself or thinking that someone else has this expectation of me that I'm in turn being hard on myself because I'm not living up to it, especially in those relationships. So when you can look at it and say, this is where I'm seeing an old pattern of mine that I'm trying to live up to because I believe that's what you expect of me, that might open an incredible dialogue that person is then in turn saying, whoa, I've been feeling this, and look where these match up, and we're living out our parents' dynamic, and neither of us is really, that's not us, but we've fallen into this pattern. So when you can each look at your own pieces and be willing in that committed relationship, because you are committed, you might be swept off your feet again. You might have that romance just blossom right back into it again because you're in a reset button and a new fresh start and looking at it from a different perspective. No more being hard on yourself, either of you, right? So I love that. And situations or topics that make your heart flutter. Because when you move into that space and really see what you thrive on and what you do right and what you are doing well, and you can honor yourself and rewrite the dialogue in your brain, your heart will start fluttering. Whether it's for that romantic partner or just for life itself and being guided into a new space, you're going to feel lighter, freer, and want to move forward in that dynamic. So I love that these cards are speaking in this way to us today. I thank you so much for being on and listening. Maybe you have a partner to throw these ideas off of. Maybe you feel like you want to get a little more clarity before you dive into those conversations. If you want to work together, I do 20-minute discovery calls to see what might be the right fit for you as far as my work. See if we're a good fit to work together. Feel free to go to my booking calendar at invokehealing.com. You'll see a book now button. It takes you into the booking calendar for all my sessions. And the 20-minute discovery calls are there. You can also directly book 75-minute sessions, which are my normal standard one-on-one private sessions. And then, I do offer 12-week transformation programs. I offer those to get people on a track of extended period of internal work to get those internal dialogues and old belief systems out the window. They don't serve anymore. What glass boxes of false beliefs are you living in that we can smash down and get through together? And so that's where my internal gifts with my psychic mediumship and my energetic healing and my coaching work all come together and synchronize to bring a lot of shift very quickly. And I would love to do that for you. That's what I'm here for. It's my passion. So thank you for joining me today. And I look forward to meeting up again next week. And would love to hear if you guys have questions. Feel free to post them to me either as a message or if there's topics that you would like to explore, anything in the metaphysical realm I love to talk about. Feel free to send me an email or a message or post it into a comment here on the video, and I will address it in a future live. So have a great day, everybody. Happy Monday, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Lola Young, hello. These questions really resonate. Thank you, Rhea. Love the cards. I know, I love the cards too, Lola. Great to see you all the way over in Eastern Europe. Thanks for being here, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.